welcome back to the Audacity Hour. We did take a little pause. It was Mother's Day, so we did take a little break for both of us,
Yes,
as we are both mothers.
as wonderful mothers as we are.
We're
Yeah,
back
and
with
we're back
Clarissa
here.
and Mary.
We do all the things. Like,
It's just brain fog. It's mom, that mom. It's
it
always
is
this mom
it,
brain. No matter how last time I was pregnant, my kids, my youngest one's 8. I still have mom brain till this day.
yeah.
Crazy.
Let's talk about mom brain, okay? Because it's mom brain. I definitely felt it when I was pregnant. I think it's different for every woman. I barely remember when I was pregnant because either maybe didn't wanted to forget
Mhm.
it because I was feeling so crappy. What was your craving? What was
My
your
cravings,
yeah?
honestly, I didn't have any food aversions. I wouldn't say I really had cravings either.
Okay,
I think the only thing I really wanted all the time was coffee. Like the
really?
smell of coffee, the coffee beans, drinking coffee. Yeah.
That's so amazing. I can't remember a craving that I had. Well, maybe that's why you like coffee.
I've always liked it.
I
And
just
it really elevated when I was pregnant. My kids like coffee too.
now it's
Now it
a
all makes
family
sense.
thing. It all makes
It's a
sense.
family affair for real.
Yeah, it's a family affair. What I'd say about that, it's that the cravings and what motherhood and being pregnant changes you so much. So it has this effect, lasting effect anyway. So I don't remember my cravings. What I do remember is that when I was pregnant with my son, my first 4 weeks, I'm having a boy. Like I
Oh, you just knew
knew
after that.
because, well, my
It was
hormones
different from
totally from my first pregnancy, and I felt that they were more intense and there was something was happening. And I
you
don't
the
know.
raging bitch.
I actually probably was,
I don't
but I
know.
don't remember
Uh-huh.
because my self-awareness was so far from what I was not self-aware. But I vividly remember having to eat all day and then wake up at 3 a.m.,
Eat again.
eat again. I had to eat something or I couldn't fall asleep. And I was, oh my God.
See, I don't think I had cravings so much because when I was pregnant, I was a young mom, and I guess in the
Yes.
situation that I was
Yeah.
in, it wasn't
You were younger than me. We were
yeah,
both
it
really young.
wasn't
Yeah.
so ideal. So I know there are certain things that I wasn't able to get, so I kind of just suppressed myself. Father
Yeah.
was not able to provide certain things, so I was, you know what, I don't want this. I'll be fine without it. And this is something that I taught myself throughout the years as an individual in itself, where I don't want anyone to disappoint me, so I'll just suppress the feeling in itself. And I definitely did that a lot when I was pregnant because I knew that he wasn't able to provide. I knew that I couldn't do it for myself at this time. I was like, maybe I really did want a lobster buffet, but I couldn't get it because I know we couldn't afford it at the
They did
time.
have endless amounts of ice cream.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, exactly.
I parallel with that experience the inadequacy of our partners and my husband, and that really sucks. Well, not my ex-husband. I think that talking about it and looking back is what we deserve now because I always tell people, do you want to be pregnant again? I really want
Me
to have that
too.
experience. I want to
I want to
have
have the full
yeah,
experience.
I want to have a full experience. I want
Never
to
took maternity pictures. I never
yeah,
did any of that.
yeah. I barely took any. Like, no, with my first pregnancy, I think I did, but they were gross. I don't even want to look at them. This is so half-assed. There wasn't that special time for me. And
It was very much
even
survival.
it was totally about survival and like, okay, you're pregnant now. This is like what my family and like what my husband wanted to do. Then when it happened, it was like, oh well, that's
Now
that.
you to
That
take care of it.
yeah,
Even though
exactly.
we were part of this, now
Yeah.
you to take care of it on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And even my family and friends and outside people, it was more fun and more people were more on board with me getting married and the wedding and all of that and afterwards. But also maybe an element of that was I got pregnant really quickly after I got married. So it was like all too quick. And now everyone's, oh,
We
now
just
you're,
celebrated this.
yeah,
And
we
now we're
just did
celebrating
this.
this.
And Mary, like, slow down, you figure it out. But yeah, I want to have that other pregnancy for sure. Some days.
With
Not
who?
anytime soon.
With who? I don't know.
Yeah. Question mark on that.
Yeah.
But no, of course, I love that in essence of Mother's Day and celebrating that, like, what it means to be a mom, all the mom topics and like, our experience. So then let me ask you, was it, did your pregnancies get easier along the
See,
way?
that
Or
was the problem. My
what was
pregnancies
the
were
problem?
always easy. That's why I kept getting pregnant. I enjoyed pregnancy. Not only obviously, but I enjoyed pregnancy too because they were so easy. I think the only thing that kind of would annoy me was obviously when things would get swollen because of all the blood flow, but that was
Yeah.
it. But my pregnancies, I never had morning sickness. I don't think I was that crazy. I don't think I was honestly because I've never had anyone say anything about me being a monster when I was pregnant. So I just kind of went with the flow the entire time, which I feel I should have been a monster. I would have gotten what I wanted. I really should have been a
I think Yeah, I think that we don't for me too, going back, I should have set a lot more boundaries
Yeah.
and had a lot more structure and just had a lot more self-worth. I think it was I was too young, it was too much, and it was just
I think it was just trying
all
to
at once.
appease everyone around me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't own my pregnancy in a way
Same.
that I wanted to. It was the like, not about me. It was about all the other things surrounding it,
Mhm.
and then I was trying to figure it out, white knuckle it. Nobody was talking to me about how fast I had gained weight in that whole 8 months of pregnancy, and, like, how that was unhealthy, and not even my doctor, like, they didn't give
Yeah,
a
everything
crap, so
I did, and I learned on my own. No one around
yeah.
me, like,
Yeah.
obviously, there were other parents and mothers around me, nobody taught me
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I everything I learned by reading books. The book,
Yeah.
what was it? It
Which
was,
book?
like, something different, something pregnancy, I forgot. That's helpful, right? It was, like,
What was it?
I forgot, and it's funny because I actually passed down that book to, my ex-sister-in-law.
Did you?
I forgot what the book is
We'll
called.
have to circle back to that book because I wanna know about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I just throughout I feel that on a monumental level because even with my own mom, that mentor figure and that support in that sense was not there. Like, my mom, she had a lot of kids, and there was no it was, "Oh, they was the best pregnancies," and, like, all positive things, or
I don't
she didn't talk
they
about
just
it.
lie.
Yeah, there was a
They
lie,
lie because
like,
they don't want us
100%.
because they want us to have children
Yeah.
and to create, and
Yeah.
reproduce the rest of the family, but they lie. When
Yeah.
pregnancy is hard? I honestly I didn't have hard pregnancies, but would I do it back to back to back and have 15 kids all at once? No, I wouldn't have done
No,
that.
no, I know. But I also
Now I'm craving it because I haven't been pregnant in 8,
yeah,
9 years. And again, I just wanna have that full on experience to see
yeah,
if it's any different.
yeah, can relate to that on such a huge level. And also, because we've had so much growth,
Mm.
I think y the age of which we got pregnant really didn't matter too much. What I'm saying is that, like, I could have had kids really young, and then it would have been fine because I would have had that support that I needed. Like, that
It
could have
was that.
been a possibility. My husband could have been there for me 100%, and my parents could have been there for me 100%.
Mhm.
And then I could have prepared more before that. Yeah, the stars in line with that, which it is what it is. But that's what I reflect on now, all these past years as my kids are growing older. It's good for me to reflect and to really heal from that. I don't want to say burden, but to think about when it comes to being a mom and pregnant. And it's just,
Now would your kids want you to have another child?
oh my gosh, so of course I,
That's a big conversation to have because I feel a lot of people
yeah,
out there having kids, not considering their other kids and what happens with that,
yeah,
and their emotions that are all tied into it. I've had this
totally.
conversation with a
Yeah.
lot of people and I'm like, do I want to have another one? I do personally myself, but what would happen if I were to have another one? How would my kids feel about it? And I don't want to be selfish and say it for me and then
Yeah.
have them have to, not that they would, but assist in taking care of because I know my children would. I know they'd want to help,
Really?
but I don't want them to I don't want it to be like how we grew up where I was the middle kid helping my siblings all the time.
I was the oldest doing that.
Oh,
I
see?
was being the parent.
Yeah, see, they didn't
Yeah.
think about us when they were having kids.
Nope.
I very much would to consider my children and how they're in their feelings
Yeah.
and all of that.
Me too. I really appreciate you bringing that up because I did ask my kids, and my oldest was no, no, mom, I don't want that. Kids are noisy and smelly and
She's like,
all
"We already have
that.
things
Yeah.
going fine."
And she's looking over at her other sibling, like, and
She's
he's
like,
running
"Exactly.
around
Point
crazy.
at it."
So I consider that. But also part of me, and this is heavy on my heart, Clarissa, is that I had a lot of siblings. For my daughter, is that I want her to have a sister, or
Mm.
my brother, or my son to have a brother. Having 4 kids would be the
Oh
best.
my god.
Stop, did you say 4? Are you gonna
Me
say 4?
too.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I
But
don't know why 4
again,
is just
financially, it's a lot right now.
yeah, 100%.
Emotionally, it's a lot. We're a lot older and we're a
Yeah.
bit more established in life, which you would think that it would be better, but
Yeah.
because we have a routine, our kids have a routine,
Yeah.
is it best right now?
Yeah. No.
I think it would be best if I had a partner that was supportive.
Yeah. The Kardashians do, and then make all of their own money and then hire surrogates.
Yeah,
That's
that's
also what the
we'll
Jonas
we'll work on that.
yeah, work on that. That's how
I
one
don't
of the
want a
Jonas
surrogate, I
Brothers
wanna
say.
be pregnant.
That's true. I for me, I feel like you were to be your pregnancies were amazing in so many ways. And,
Well, I don't
and you
know.
said,
It's what, 13, well,
oh,
9 years later, it could be so different
true.
now.
Oh gosh.
My body's gonna be like, nope, you're gonna gain 100 pounds." It's like, "Shit."
That's true, I guess.
I'm
I don't
not
know.
early 20s anymore,
That's
so
yeah, that's true. Same. Um, it's so many thoughts with that. Because I say surrogacy because having another child in my body is oh
I just
man.
went to the doctor's.
Okay,
I went
what
to the
happened?
OBGYN,
What happened?
and she was telling me, she goes, "So
Stop.
she's doing our normal test that we
Yeah,
have to do."
yeah.
She's like, and I'm like, what is that?" She's doing an internal ultrasound. I was like, "You see all those pockets?" She goes,
Stop.
"You're very fertile." She goes, "You have a lot of eggs left." And I'm like, and she went to the other side. She goes, "Yep, yep." She goes, "Be very
God.
careful if you were to have intercourse and whatnot. Just make sure
Yeah,
you're very, very cautious because she's
we're
very,
protected.
very fertile." Yeah, regardless of that, I am. But I was like, "You're fertile."
Great to know. Actually, that's very
Well,
good
she was like,
information
yeah, she was
for me
tell
to
by
know.
my uterus is still healthy, so she's like, you'll still be able to carry a very, very healthy pregnancy for a while until like, at least I'm like 40,
Okay.
so I'm not in the clear.
Hey, hey, I mean, they're looking for surrogates. It's like they drop us a
I
kid.
don't, I kid you not.
Yeah.
I was okay
Sure.
for pregnancy, for surrogacy,
Oh my
completely. I
god.
kid you not. Like I kid you not. Like, a
Stop.
week ago, I looked into this,
What?
and but then because of where I work, I'm not able to.
Lame. We'll get you there at some point.
Yeah,
I think if anything, our dreams are out there in the world and we can make them happen with
everything's
certain effort.
attainable. Honestly, it sounds so cliche and it sounds
What is it?
so not taboo, but so out there that everything is so attainable. Honestly, it's really it's so in the belief of you and what you think about.
Yeah.
If we weren't
Internal. It's
if
internal.
we weren't
Comes from you.
thinking about it, if there was if it was never presented to us in a way where we know that we could attain it,
Yeah.
it would never be in our mind in the first
Yeah.
place.
No, it comes from within. It comes from within, and then you put it out there in the world, and you be a good person, and you are part of of your community, and you know people. Something is going to happen.
It's
It may not
all
be
these
what it
bad
you
things
expect,
can
but
happen.
yeah,
Know that all these good things that you think about can definitely
yes.
happen.
I love that. That's a really amazing that you said that because I feel as an adult, there's so many bad things that people do as adults. And then it's, well, if those things, do you
But see,
think
because
that bad things happen easier?
you put so much energy into a bad thought. Think about something that say something were to happen, right? And you
Mhm.
say that you know that you're running late to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You already know that you're gonna run late. You already know that when you get there, you're gonna have to speak to the receptionist and explain why you're running late. You already have a process and a thought already in your head, and already have it played out. How come you don't have it played out when it's something that you want? It's
Yeah.
so hard. I don't know why for us as adults, and I feel it's that whole thing. We're kids and we imagine things, and we're in la la land all the time. We're delusional. That's the term that everyone keeps saying,
Yeah.
or the word
Yeah.
everyone keeps saying. We're not delusional
No.
anymore. We
Yeah.
allow for bad things to kind of and
Yeah.
take over our lives when we think about good things. What if I sit there and I tell you, Mary, we can get pregnant and blah blah blah, and we'll have like our spouses and whatever. Like a lot of people be like, well, how are you gonna find that man? Well, how are
Yeah.
you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that?
Yeah.
This other shit. With that being said, you're so quick to put negativity on it as opposed to positivity on it. And the thing is, I'm very, very optimistic, but I'm also a realist.
Mhm.
I'm not a pessimist. A lot of people believe I'm a pessimist because
What is a pessimist?
I think that everything's so they're so negative about
There's
everything. I was like, I'm realistic about what I do, but also delusional at the same time. So there's a good balance between the two.
I think you're a positive human.
I think there's a
Um,
balance.
yeah.
Again, I think there's real life.
Yeah.
I am delusional when it comes to a lot of things, and I don't really care at this point because guess what? We all live one life. Let's just enjoy it.
Yes.
There's always going to be a way. If
Mhm.
there's a will, there's a way.
If there's a will,
If
there's a
there's a
way.
will, there's a way.
And that's such a maybe a Disney saying, but oh, who cares? I am in alignment with that on so many levels,
Have you
percent.
ever met someone who is so delusional that their life keeps that lucky girl syndrome? Things keep happening no matter what.
Gosh,
I know
I think I
people.
have.
I know people that are like that. People envy the hell out of that. Thing is, instead of you envying, why don't you just sit there and kind of take admiration and do
Learn
as they
from it.
do?
Yeah, learn from it and absorb some of that. I did the comment, I'm like, I think that people or when adults, when they grow out of that delusional stage, it's based in fear. When you're an adult, there's so much fear that is aligned from wherever you
And
learn
that's
that
what
from.
society puts on us.
Yeah, you're brainwashed into as an adult, and especially as a woman, fear is the basis of
Hmm.
so many things,
They
and
want to
it's like,
keep us enclosed,
yeah, 100%
not women, but
box or
all of us in
yeah,
general.
yeah, yeah. Going back to the conversation, the power control, I think that the basis of power and control is fear, and then people in any forms, it could be whatever, they build off of
Everything,
that.
everything is meant to be
Okay.
put into a box, especially within our society,
Yeah,
American society.
definitely.
Anything that is different outside of that, it's looked down upon, right? It's
Sure.
funny because I sell life insurance too. I sell life
Mhm.
insurance, and there's such a negative connotation when it comes to life insurance because people assume MLM or scams or this and that. And I'm like, bro, because you got scammed and because you weren't using your big brain and
Yeah.
looking into the things that you were putting money into
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm scamming you.
Yeah.
I really do that. I just and I'm not even join my team, do
Yeah.
this, do that.
See? Yeah,
Do you
we're
want life
not a pyramid scheme
do you
here.
want life insurance for your kids? No? Okay.
Move on.
I'm on the way. Goodbye. Right? But I have people again with
Tell
that
me.
fear and
Yeah.
that umbrella over them where
Yep.
they just assume that, oh, because it's different from what I do, because I work a 9 to 5 and I was taught that from all of us, for all of us, from a very young age that you're supposed to work a 9 to 5 until you die, until you're 60 something and retire, and then you
Mhm.
enjoy 10 years of your life and then you die. That's how we're supposed to live life.
Yeah.
That's why entrepreneurs make so much money. That's why
Yeah.
entrepreneurs are able to do what they do because they don't have that fear. They
No.
just jump.
Yeah. They risk it. Risk it.
They literally jump if they're jumping up. People need to be afraid, not be afraid of jumping anymore.
Yes, do not be afraid. I cannot tell you how much like I'm trying to align within that, Clarissa. It's not easy because I've spent my whole life in
Mhm.
fear. I want to say that to you and everybody out there. Like, do not be afraid. Do not live in fear and practice not living in that. And
Yes.
it's just like
People
you're
say
gonna
I'm too
soar.
impulsive. They say I'm too
Oh, that's
impulsive. And the
stupid.
funny thing is I was like,
Oh my God.
I'm enjoying life right
Yeah, it's
now.
like,
So
hello. So you're
it
maybe jealous.
regardless of how they feel about it, I'm like, be impulsive, do you.
Yeah.
Enjoy your one life that you have.
Yeah, and I have a couple comments, but the biggest one, this is why like what we're doing and talking about these things. I see all these other people for saying bad things, doing bad things in the world, being a bad influence in the world
Mhm.
for what with their words and their actions, and then they get all of this
But the power
money
of the tongue is
and power.
strong.
Yes, they have this all this money, power, influence, and so then why can't we do that? Why can't I do that? You know what I mean? And
And you know what
they
it
don't.
is too? It's because
What?
people they would rather follow someone that they're fearful of than someone that they admire.
Okay. Oh, let's
Mhm.
go into that. Could repeat that, Clarissa.
They'd rather follow someone they're fearful of than someone they admire. Have you noticed that when you do something
Wow.
in life and you're trying to
Interesting.
promote it, right?
Yeah.
The people that are closest to you are never gonna admire what you do. It's always
Right.
strangers. Because
Okay,
and
yeah.
how do you get to these strangers?
Yeah.
You kind of put fear into their lives. The reason why you're is because you're not making enough this at least in sales, right?
Yeah.
You're not making enough money. So, that's how we kind of gear
Yeah.
our prospects through fear.
Right.
And then they kind of merge into, oh well, how are they making this much money? I'm in that boat. I'm in that predicament right now. So I'm gonna be able to if I follow them, I'm gonna be able to do, we give them that little insight, but we scare them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people that you know, they never are there to support you because they're not there to admire you. They sit there and they're just, oh, she's a joke. I know her in real
Yeah.
life. She's not like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you notice that the biggest leaders are always the ones that have scare tactic.
Do you think okay, oh my gosh. Do you think that in order to be that elevated for some of these leaders and have this platform or a higher rank or position in life, do you think that do all of them have you use an element of fear?
I
To
think if you have two groups of dogs and you have one that's getting beat and one that's not, the ones that are getting beat are going to listen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I think
true.
there has to be some type of element of fear in it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it could be, and there's levels to it. It could be really extreme, or it could be minimal. It could be in the middle. Whatever it is, there's definitely an
Mhm.
element of fear. 100%. I think
Fear mongering is definitely a thing that
yes, fear
has
mongering. Oh my. Do you think that this fear mongering is elevated now
I
or in the
I
past?
in the past
Okay.
it's definitely, it's gone to a really, really high extent. I think now, yes, but a lot of us are more smart than we were. We understand more,
Yeah.
but then you still have some who don't
Oh,
understand certain things.
interesting.
That's why they still believe it.
Okay, interesting. Because my comment on that is that in the past, whereas fear mongering was, I think of, a gladiator setting and like, or what the
We
Romans
weren't
did.
educated before.
Right.
Now we have everything at our fingertips to understand what it
And
is. Now it's up
these
to
little thing
you.
called
Now it's
phones.
up to you whether or not you wanna
Yeah.
understand these things. So fear mongering
Right.
only I think is only applicable to people who don't wanna understand.
Like that. I do agree with that 100%. And I have to pause on if we're all more elevated or not. But I think warmongering or fear mongering, all of that was worse in the past because they would actually um, kill. It would
Yeah,
be
no,
physical.
there is definitely, obviously that's still happening to this
Yeah,
day,
it
but there
is.
is
But
more of a structure
yeah,
when it comes to war, and there are rules and guidelines that we have to still abide by.
yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I'm grateful for that in comparison to what we had before.
It's grateful that we have phones now.
They're not as shady as they used to do they were before.
Yeah. I feel definitely they were before, but also I think that fear mongering was worse, I think, in the past because of the physical aspect of it, like, people were literally hanged or
Mhm.
gladiators existed or whatever,
Yeah,
but
there's too many laws.
yeah. Yeah. Now there is a structure in place where that is less of happens, but I think that the different kind of warmongering, which is elevated now, is propaganda
Yes.
and, fake information, fake videos, things that can be covertly
And that's and what I was stating
presented.
earlier
Yeah.
where all this information is given to us. It's a matter of
Yeah.
whether you want to understand
Yeah.
that information.
Do you think that people want to understand information or they want to present their feelings?
Like, okay,
No,
I
come on, I
think
wanna hear it.
I think like religion, they'd wanna stay in their little safe
Yeah,
box.
yeah, they do. And they wanna protect that box, do whatever they can to protect it
Mhm.
and to defend it.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to defend
something that they
their
don't understand. Like,
yes, and they wanna
but it's
defend
because they were taught
themselves.
this way. This
Yep,
is the belief that they
yeah,
have, and they wanna stick to that belief. They don't
yeah,
wanna kind of extend outside of that.
yeah. And do you think that belief that they've been taught, you think that was also taught through fear?
Yes.
Yeah,
Religion,
for sure, yeah.
for sure, everything. For the way we were all we're talking about motherhood
Yes.
and fear,
Bring
right?
it back to that. Yeah,
Breaking generational curses. We
yeah.
were all taught through
Ooh,
fear.
curses, I like that, I
We were
like
all
that.
taught through fear, and look
Yeah,
at us as
that's true.
parents now. I know a lot of people look at me and they're sometimes they see me and my kids and they think that I'm not the ideal parent, but I'm not gonna sit there and yell at my kids because of something that they believe.
Yeah,
I've always taught my kids that. If you
yeah,
believe it, that's you. I'm gonna narrate my situation to you and my story, and what you believe after is up to you. Trying to getting personal now where
no, please
things
do.
have happened
Tell
between me and
me.
my daughters, and I've had people in their lives tell them a lot about me. They don't understand it because they're, "Why would someone say that about my mom?"
Tell me.
I've had no
Mhm.
reason to over explain myself. You're gonna see through my actions how I really am as
Yep,
a person.
yep,
Throughout the years, they've learned that a lot of these things that were said about me has been falsely accused. Even at work, I have people falsely accusing me about things
defamation,
because
defamation.
defamation only if it were to affect my work life, but it doesn't because it
Okay.
doesn't affect me. Because I haven't allowed it to affect me because you can sit there and talk crap about me all day. You know the truth. And the fact that you want to sit there and you want to lie about me, whether it was that person or this person. So with that being said, generational curses, a lot of people sit there and say that the way I parent is very different. It's different because it's not the way our parents parented.
Mhm,
And I allow my children to have a
mhm,
voice and I allow them to have an opinion and I allow them to
mhm,
speak whatever they need to speak. There's no reason for me not to, as long as it's not hurting anybody.
mhm.
And this is something I've always said to my children.
Yeah,
I think again that and then they have that respect for me, not through fear, because I broke that path, right?
100%.
It's through an understanding and respect. And I think when we were younger, respect was earned through fear. And it's no
Mhm,
longer, and I think us
mhm.
as parents, we're trying not to do that anymore.
Do people confuse that with gentle parenting?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Because when
I
people
don't have to
see
whoop their asses
yeah,
to be a good parent.
right. And you don't need to have that fear 100%. And when people comment or see me as a parent, well, I'm a helicopter parent has
Mm.
been thrown out there or gentle parenting. And yeah, I don't see it that way. I think that I can be firm on more things than others, but it is that level of understanding. Like people also say, oh, you shouldn't be best friends with your kids. Like that was a huge conversation. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first of all, it doesn't have to like it's there's so much to that because
It's such
how do you not
a
be at a
black and
certain
white
level?
statement, but it's
Yeah,
so broad at the
yeah.
same time.
So you're not gonna be best friends when your kids are when they're little, but then when they grow older and they're an adult, you're not gonna be best friends with them then? Like, that's not a
I would
possibility?
love for my kids to always come to me for certain things,
Yeah,
a lot of things,
you
and that's how
should.
with my best friends, that's how I am. I go to them for
Yeah.
everything.
And for my best friends to go to them for things, and then also I told them, "Give me feedback. Tell
Yes.
me how I can be a better person."
I think, we've said this in a separate podcast where
Yeah, what
it's
was
your
that?
definition of a best friend.
Yeah.
If your best friend is someone that enables
Mhm.
you to do whatever
Mhm.
you wanna
I
do and
that
they don't
advice, yeah.
yeah, and they
Mhm.
don't,
Yeah.
um, tell you right from wrong,
Yeah.
then that's not really your friend.
Yeah.
So, I'm putting it into the perspective of my best friend is someone that's gonna hold me
Yeah.
accountable.
And that's what you do as a parent, so you're already best friends.
Exactly. My
Uh,
built-in best friend.
yeah, you're just like, that's what it is. I remember when my kids are younger, that's the conversation I would hear, and it's like, there's no way.
And it's funny because they associate gentle parenting with women,
Oh,
especially.
I know, I know. Do they also do that to explain what is happening in the world, like, right now with children and how they don't respect adults, and I
I've always
can't
told my
say
kids,
that.
and this is me, this is something I've taught myself when I was
Uh-huh.
younger because again, growing up Asian American, it is very ideal for us to respect all adults. That
Right,
is
that
a
is part of
bad
is that part of your
yes.
culture,
To
Cambodian
me,
culture? Okay.
that's very, very bad
Yes.
growing up, especially again being women. Respecting adults
Mhm.
regardless of who you are. As long as you're an adult, I have to respect you. That puts me in a position where I
Submissive.
so I
That's
have
a good
daughters. I have
point.
nothing but daughters. I taught myself since I was young because of that, because my dad was very, very, very big on that, where no matter who it is, you have to use a respectful title when you speak to them. You have to be, there's very, very, there's a lot of things that go to it.
Yeah.
I did not feel comfortable with that
Yeah.
being a young woman in America, a young woman in general, right?
Yeah.
So I've taught my daughters that you don't, because it's something I know, you don't give someone respect that is not respectable as a human being.
What they teach that to is boys.
Yes.
That's they.
So I've taught my daughters that, and
Good.
they're very aware of that. Where
Good.
there's no reason for me to respect you. I'm not going to respect you.
Yeah.
Respect is I'm not giving it to you off the bat. I don't know you. It's
Yeah.
very much earned.
So I have to say, amazing motherly quality that is, of course, but also for girls, like there is a safety element of that.
Yes,
Our parents want us to be submissive to people, especially even men. And then
especially
how is that
men,
going to be safe for
especially
us?
uncles and grandparents,
Yeah, that's what they want. And
and
like,
that's
that's,
how it initially starts.
yeah.
And then we go into relationships, and then we're that too.
Yeah.
Why do you think we end up in? And I'm not saying that it's 100% their fault, but why do you think we end up in crap relationships? Because we
Yeah.
were number one, we see crap relationships. We're
Yes.
taught to respect that
Yes.
as women and to do as is with
Yeah.
for men.
Yeah.
We're taught to we all need to know how to cook. We all need to know how to clean because that's what keeps a man happy. He can't do what he needs to do for me with those respective roles.
Yeah. The submissive, the passiveness, and then seeing males as saviors. They're the biggest three things that all women are exposed to
When they're
and
young.
taught at different, yeah, when they're young and taught at different
And then
levels.
when you don't follow those rules, you're considered a man eater. And now that's a
Yeah.
derogatory term.
Yeah, and then but then that's punishment. That's or punishment retaliation for
Hmm.
not being in that role and like what you were taught to
I
be.
just saw this TikTok. It's
What
so
you
cute. It was like these guys at a bodega, right? Bodegas, right? It's like
is it
it's
a boat?
basically no,
It is.
it's a corner store, and
Okay.
people go and they buy snacks from there and
Oh,
little
sure,
tidbits and
sure,
stuff
sure.
like that.
Okay.
So think of a liquor store, right?
Yeah.
So there's some guys recording it, and in the on-screen text, all these guys here because none of you women cook anymore, right? And it's all these guys are lined up buying their lunch, and all the women in the comments, you know what? I'm having a great day. This is because guess what? We were taught to cook. We were taught to work for ourselves. We were taught to clean. How come you can't do that?
Yeah. And if you can't do it at home, then you could go buy a sandwich
Wait,
elsewhere.
well, why are you bashing us women who are not in that store because we're at home cooking
Yeah.
our own meals and buying our own meals, but it's nothing but men in that store that are buying their meals, and you're talking
Yeah.
crap about women. Why are we always the topic of your conversation? But the thing is,
Indeed.
it's a whole thing of that submissiveness. We were taught to be submissive. We were taught to be maids and sex
Yeah.
workers and slaves and nannies and this and that, and you guys
Yeah.
are taught to work.
So let me comment about that. Do you think that with men and women there is a battle?
Like who's better? Men have always. That's why we've gone
I
through
have a
this.
lot what I'm trying to ask, but yes, essentially, like it's sorry about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in
Yeah.
the workforce, yes, because that's why they always try to suppress this in our feelings. Anytime something happens, we are always, oh, because you're a woman. Because, Mary, I've explained, I'm talking to someone about this.
Love it.
The position that I was in prior to this, I remember the first week I got the position, right? I think
Yeah.
I was pretty young when I got it. I
Yeah.
was the second or one of the two of the youngest soups that were there. The first comment that was made to me by a group of men was the only reason why you got this is because the manager likes you. Like likes you. It wasn't because of my work ethic. It wasn't because of how I did things. It wasn't because of the way I hold myself. It was because of the manager likes Cambodian women. That's why you got it. And I was like, that's crazy that you say that, considering I've held the position for as long as I did. I got the position on my own. It wasn't even through word of mouth or referral. It's I got the position. And
It's so typical. You ever
it's such
new to
typical.
say?
And I was okay.
Like,
So how did you get your position? You being
you're
driving
gonna
cars and parking cars. And shit.
is that
Teach me how
got
you
the
got
job?
your position. I'd love to park. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I was for you to sit there and say because you're a woman now in
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
The only reason why you got it is because you had to do something for that job.
Yeah,
And I always
bullshit.
say jokingly, if I were to ever do anything for a job, trust me, I wouldn't be in that position to be higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Know that.
We flowed into this, okay?
If I'm doing
And
any work in which I don't want to, best believe I'm gonna be up there.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it
That's
for
so
no
stupid. It's such a typical comment. We're so
Mhm.
used to that. In parallel to that, what I think about is that the Kim Kardashian story, and it was a couple years ago, and they invited her to a comedy show. I think it was the roast of Kevin Hart or something like that. Like she sat in the audience, and So obviously the comedians up there knew she was there, had jokes lined up, and they
We're
well,
always the butt of the conversation. We're always the
yeah,
butt of the joke.
yeah, and all
And Kardashian's
and
worth more than all you guys.
correct. And what were the jokes? "Oh, you're a hoe.
Oh,
You had
you
sex with
had money.
all the
You had the
rappers,"
reason
like
why you're famous is because you had a sex tape. Okay,
yeah,
she had a sex tape, and
that's
now
what it
she has a
was.
clothing line, and now she has this, and now she has that.
And now she's
She is,
making clothes for
and I was
Olympians.
like, she's one of
My
the
god,
biggest businesswomen.
100%.
How she got there?
Yeah,
We've had her in her first
yeah.
conversation. How you get there is how you get there.
She's changed the culture
The
for
way
her
you
family.
maintain it
Yeah,
is up to you,
yeah,
and she's maintained it for sure.
yeah. Oh,
She's
100%.
put her entire family on.
100%.
And I know
One who elevated it.
a lot of guys aren't gonna say that's something that they look up to, but yet they look up to, like, Donald Trump.
Okay, so Kanye was not gonna say that. That's Kanye. Kanye wasn't gonna look up to her and admire her. Instead, he looked up to Donald Trump. And he
Oh, see?
see?
But a lot of men are gonna say, like, "Oh, well, she had sex, and that's why she is where she's at."
Uh,
You guys have sex for free,
yeah.
and not good at that. And on top of that, you guys will look up to a man like Donald Trump who will
Oh my
fucking rape
god.
women and
Yeah,
children,
and he was
and then
racist.
say he's great because he's a businessman. He's not that great of a businessman. He is, but he's not Kim Kardashian,
He doesn't change the culture, and people did
but in a negative way.
in a negative way.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. Yes, why it just so ticks me off that he is the president of the United States for a second time in a row. It's like, why?
It's the
Why? It is the fear. I mean, he's good. He is the master at all of that. I mean, hey, I do give it to him.
He's a master manipulator.
Yeah.
We need to learn.
That's true. No, it is true. Like we learn from that. And like that's the only thing that what I said in the last podcast too is that like I've learned there's one way to counteract that. And it's like, you want me to be on the streets of science? Cool, I can do that. And I did that. And it's like that really isn't enough. It's like and so I have to look at other options for that and like how we do that. Honestly, to him and Elon Musk, what they're doing,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. We learn from it. We watch them and be like, hey,
I
so
think that's
what
the
can
only
we take
thing we
from that?
should do. I think that's
Yeah.
another reason why a lot of men who can't do that and kind of learn from other men, they get in their feelings and they get triggered by that. Because how is it that a woman can do that and you can't?
Yeah.
Put your ego aside.
Yeah, but they won't. But they won't.
Put your ego aside and learn
Yeah,
the ropes.
100%. Okay, I'm gonna go to ego for a little bit. Do you think that um women or men have bigger egos, or is it just or it depends on the
It
situation?
really depends. I think it's definitely men.
Okay.
I believe it's men.
Maybe we did go over
Because a
this.
man will not sit there and see another man that is in his position. There, it comes with different circumstances, but overall, I think it's a man because he'll see someone in his position and he will not take any notes from it because I'm not going to learn from another man.
Yeah, I'm the smartest person in the room.
No one's ever the smartest person. You're gonna have the smartest person in the fucking world, and you're still gonna have to learn. That person's still gonna learn something from
Yep.
someone else. You don't know
The
everything.
audacity for some
Yeah.
people to say that, for men to say that.
I mean, and I think that's a
Crazy.
general statement where a lot of people believe that they're the smartest person in the room, and you don't know everything.
Yeah.
We evolve every
Yeah,
single
evolve, adapt,
second.
and learning continuously
Yeah.
as human beings,
And
even
but
at the end of our life.
I've had people say that to me all the
What?
time, where they're
What?
just like, "Clarissa, you're trying to praise me," and I'm like, "Why would you say that to me? Like, I don't take that as a compliment at all. You're the smartest one in the room. That's why." And I'm like, I do not take that as
No.
a compliment. I
For
love
you.
to learn.
Yes.
I love having to,
Yeah.
and I know there's a lot to learn, a lot more to learn to this life. I'm only 31 years old, baby. I'm like, I have a lot
We
to
have
learn, and
a
I know
lot
that, and I'm holding myself
long
accountable,
time.
and I know that. It's always a man that says it to me, where I'm just like, yeah, you think you're so smart. You
Well,
think you know everything.
yeah, and it's do you think that men are more blinded by ego?
Yes.
I go to into ego, circling back to being moms and women. Do you think that women have bigger egos after they have children or when they don't have
I think they
children?
have
What do you think?
confidence. I don't think they have egos.
Oh,
I don't think their ego
okay.
inflates. If
Okay.
anything, from past experiences and from the women that I've spoke with, egos have definitely been diminished by the men around them. And that the whole saying of like flamingo will get its pink back. They lose it for a little bit and they realize who the fuck they are
Yeah.
and it comes back and their
Okay.
confidence sparks back. And that's when divorce happens. That's when relationships break up because the man that's been
Yep.
trying to diminish you the entire time,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden your pink is back. And they're like, and
Hey,
they're yeah, your pink is
back.
back. And why is it that they don't say it out loud? Of course, they're not going to say it,
Yeah.
but why is
Yeah.
it that your confidence is back? I've had these conversations with
Really?
my past relations,
Mhm.
where they've told me when you were with that person, they thought you were just super passive, you were this, you're and I said, "No, I was vibing."
We're
And
getting
now they
through
see
it.
me and they're like, "Damn, look at you now." I've always been here, but I
Yeah.
had to kind of just push myself down
Yeah.
to kind of, appease this person.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hey, we're back, bitches.
I think a lot
I
of
love
women go
that
through
for
that
you.
regardless of
100%.
pregnancies and motherhood. I think a lot of
Okay.
women have gone through someone,
Okay.
whether it's a man or woman, a partner where that partner's ego is so big where it's there's only one ego that's big at that there's only one ego that can fit within that relationship. They suppress themselves so much just to again make this person happy and then that ego once you realize who the fuck you are again, it goes
And
away
what you can do.
and what you're capable of. I don't think women per se have an ego. I think they have confidence.
I love that. I definitely think the between the scales of confidence and ego, confidence is above it. I only mention ego because from my experiences for moms and within the structure, when I'm talking about the structure, I'm talking about, you know, we, you're in a married environment, you're married and then you have children and then how you're looked to that
I think
and how that
ego
elevates you.
I think well, what it is, ego is it's a confidence, but you have that confidence because you're putting other people down.
Okay.
Meanwhile, confidence is you uplifting yourself. There's
Okay.
no one else being hurt within that.
Right.
Ego
Right.
really much means that, at least from what I've seen it, but in the layman's terms,
Yeah.
you have to push people down to
Yeah.
feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel a lot of men have to do that. I feel women, we do that, but then again, we get to a point where we realize that there's enough for all of us to win.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think at the end of it, women they understand, they have a level of empathy and compassion and passion to see that at the end of the
Mhm.
road, the silver lining. Yeah, and it's hard for men. I think they're just so practiced in the opposite that they never see it. I do think that there are some women that their ego. I don't want to say they're lost, but what I see is that
I've never
yeah.
seen a successful woman
What?
that has done it on her own. It's
Okay.
always
Yeah.
you have a group of women, you have a tribe behind you, you have
Yeah.
support behind you.
Yeah.
I have seen successful men that have done it on their own, but they're not happy in the end.
Yeah.
It's them by themselves doing what they do, but I've never seen a successful woman do it on her own and then be happy in the end. She always has done it with
Somebody,
another group
a
or
group, a
other women.
village.
We again, we have that empathy, we have that nurturing side of us where
Yeah.
we need the love and the nurturing and
Yeah.
to uplift us. And I've never seen a woman that says, "Oh, I don't have any female friends. I don't have this or that." I've never seen any woman that be happy.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to bash them, but it's you can't sit there and be around a group of men who don't have empathy, who don't,
Mhm.
like you said, don't have compassion,
Yeah.
and think that you as a woman and your bio, your genomes and whatnot, that's gonna make you happy as a person.
I see this is a new experience for me. I see these women who their ego and they are clouded in a little bit of way with their identity within their marriage and keeping that secure. And nobody is gonna that's I'm not gonna be real about it. And everyone's just gonna see that image, right? But eventually they come around to that empathy, that compassion, that realness. It's a bummer when I don't see that right away and that they try to hide it or they don't confront
Those are
it
the women
or
that break girl code for sure.
yeah. Yes. And okay, Clarissa, I think we went over this a little bit at the last podcast, right? Remind me, what is girl code
What
to
is girl code?
you?
Girl code is it's conflicting.
And is
I just
motherhood involved with that? Sorry, I
yes,
know
girl
there's a
code is
lot.
very much the trust and belief in women. I wouldn't use girl code for every single woman. Just I don't believe men use guy code for every single man.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you give me no reason to respect you as a woman, I'm sorry, you're knocked out.
You're out.
But I do believe that it's just us coming into unity with
Yeah.
each other and uplifting each other. Enabling
So
so
true.
much, no, that's what guys do. I don't
Yeah.
think women enable each other. I think
No.
we very much hold each other accountable to the point where sometimes a lot of the other women who don't agree to it, to that girl code per se, they'll distance themselves from it. But when it comes to girl code, I think it's just women uplifting women and women supporting each other.
So too. And so that's just so beautiful to hear, Clarissa. Also, I think too, girl code is this conversation that happens when we're young. And it's like as I've said this before, I hear it happening within my daughter and like her friends as she's getting older. I think it's a way for especially young girls to understand what it means to be a girl and like what we need to do. I think what I mean by it changes is that part of this girl code conversation when it happens for young girls is that they're also trying to figure out what they haven't been taught or what other girls, the social aspect
Yeah.
of what it means to be a girl. And yeah, ultimately it's being supportive of girls and of women and starting with that. And then as they get older, it could mean girls against boys or
You know
girls
what's
come
really
first before
funny?
girl boy
I s
dating or
I
whatever.
saw this TikTok, right?
Yeah,
This
that's it.
this guy was saying that girls are the worst when it comes to other girls because when you guys see a girl who's not conventionally attractive, you guys will sit there and hype her up. These guys will never do that. And that's the thing where I'm
So
like, "Do you
shallow.
not do you not realize what girl code is? It's us uplifting each other. It's us being there for each other."
Yeah.
And maybe unconventionally to you, but I was like, we want to see that our fellow women are confident in themselves. Maybe because you don't find it attractive. I mean, we don't find a lot of you guys attractive either, but yet we still sit there because we're doe eyed. You still this, you still that, because we fall in for it, right? But I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
how is it that us women uplifting other women is something that's affecting you? That's crazy to me.
That is crazy. Also, I see that as fear, and they
Yes,
see that because when we
we
come
can't be too
together
confident.
yeah, we do
We can't
confident.
all be too confident because it's
Whoa.
going to be an issue for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because because that's where the power is. That's where in talking about the positivity and the goodness, optimism, like that is the goodness.
Yes.
If we
And we
come
can't
together.
be there. We have to,
Yeah.
and there's another conversation I've
Oh
had is that a guy told me,
my
he was like,
God.
"Women always are against each other." And I'm like,
No,
"I don't believe that.
no.
I think what it is that you guys pin us against
Yeah,
each other."
100%.
And that's where the whole narrative of, like, when I see, like, women fighting over a man, I will never do that shit.
No, I will
Y'all can have that
never.
man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
worth it his time.
No.
But with that being said, I'm like, "That's it. You guys are pinning us
Yeah,
against each other without us subconsciously knowing it."
yeah. Just yeah, totally manipulative
Yeah.
for sure.
But I
100%.
was like, "No, I don't believe that statement."
I don't believe that. I'm negative. Believe that negative
I've
levels.
had situations where
What?
I've been in a situation where I know of people who have done things wrong to me and men who've done things that are wrong to me, and they've included other women within that circumstance, right? I've never sat there and bashed the other woman. I'm gonna bash you every single
Yeah,
day because you owed me that respect. You
yeah,
were someone that I cared for that should have given that to me.
yeah.
I've never sat there and said, I hate the other woman that did this to me. She didn't know. She doesn't owe me anything in any regard.
And that's the truth.
And
Like that's true.
but I know a lot of people don't believe that. They believe
Yeah.
in circumstances, say cheating, right? There's a lot of women are so quick to judge the other woman.
Oh yeah.
Unless the other woman knew, there's no reason for you to judge that other woman. That man owes you loyalty, not this person.
No,
And we
that
don't
does
hold the
happen.
men
That does
accountable.
happen. Yeah.
How's that?
I think there's a savior element to that. Women see men as saviors. That is ingrained. And then there's that fear. If we don't even just a tiny bit uplift man or we just have him come out on top or him be the savior, then we're fearful of what would happen if we do the opposite. But I also think is that there's some broken piece in that situation where it's like if another woman in that cheating scenario, if another woman is coming at another woman and projecting on her all the things, she's broken. If I was that woman that is being dragged on, you're broken, sister. I have a level of empathy and understanding. Not all
Yes.
women can do that because right away and that is valid if they're just defensive right away and they're like "Fuck you" or whatever. That is an unbroken piece. And going back as a mother, if that woman was a mother, I can understand that being her reaction because it's
Mhm.
like you broke so much of everything, and
It's human to feel that
yeah,
initially.
it is totally. It is human, but obviously it's not what you need to do. And then also there is an element of we don't know what the man did to her,
Mhm.
really. There's so much that can be unfolded with that. But that's why okay, so
Girl code is
yeah.
an overall thing until it's broken by a man.
Yeah.
And that sucks that we allow them to
Do
be
you
in our
think that women
space.
can break it?
Most times I think it's broken because of a man intertwining themselves into it.
I do agree with that because at the end of the day, woman, if we are so eternal and we're such
Said it's too
goddesses.
much we allow them to be saviors so much, where we
Yeah.
allow them to influence our lives so much, when in reality, like you said, we're goddesses, we're the ones
Yeah.
who are the ones who hold all the power
Yeah.
in actuality,
In
in
actuality,
historic,
historically, it's true. And
scientifically, physically, everything, we
it's
hold all the power.
funny, yeah. And it's funny the art of suppression of that power with men. Men do it, or it's a group of people. And I see that and it's designated of whoever it is. It could be women, it's minorities, it's whatever. It's whatever is people are in that fear that this person or this group of people is going to be more powerful than me, then I have to use
Well,
that art
yeah.
of submission, an art of control, art of power. So it's really heavy stuff, all of it. Another question about motherhood, really quickly. Do you think that but for women who don't want to be moms or who can't be, is there power or that element of womanhood, are we now different? Like for women who have kids and women that don't?
No.
Okay.
Are any different? No. We still
Okay.
hold the same.
Okay.
We all have the womb that we carry power
Yeah.
in. Whether we create life with it or not is not.
Okay.
If you don't have a child because you can't create it, you don't have that within you. You still create life in separate ways.
Right. Right. Through that energy,
Yeah,
through that.
you being a woman in itself and what you carry and what you've been taught throughout life and what within yourself, I don't think it makes you any different. If anything, for women who have a choice not to, who have that choice of not to carry children, I'm happy for you
Yeah.
that you chose that
Yeah.
because
Me too.
because her everything in the world, that's all they want us to do is to carry
Yeah.
children.
We didn't have that choice at one point.
And then for women
100%.
who aren't able to,
Yeah.
because their body's not a their body isn't doesn't allow them to, again, you can still create life elsewhere. You could still
Yeah.
do other things
Yeah.
to
It's true.
put into this world.
Yeah.
So
You're
no,
right.
I don't think we're any different.
It's true.
I just think the options of choices is definitely something that we weren't granted prior and
Yeah.
we have it now.
100%.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're using those
100%.
choices. You're allowing yourself to have and speak upon your own choices.
I'm so grateful about that for my children and for your children, Clarissa, and moving forward.
That conversation, my daughter will she has all these stuffed animals and she's like, "Mom, you have like 56 grandkids, all this other stuff, right?" We'll have these conversations and they're young still. But I always say to my oldest, my because she's the oldest one, I'll say, and this is how we speak in the household whenever you have kids, if you choose to. That's not something that mom wants from me. I don't want you to
That's
have
so
kids
amazing,
nor
Clarissa.
not want
I
kids.
never had that.
Yeah.
The opposite.
So with my kids, it's if you choose to. If you choose to be with your partner, if you choose to be with a man or a woman or whomever you are, if you choose to have kids, if you don't choose to have kids, as long as you're happy,
Yeah.
that's all
100%.
I care
It's such a
about.
beautiful thing. So, so beautiful. You know what? I think more parents are woke. I don't like that word. But
I
anyway,
know.
but just, oh, I hate it. Because actually, I didn't even. I see more parents. My experience is that they have to be tolerant about these things because
I can care
it's
less.
the truth.
If my bloodline ends here, I can care less.
Yeah,
As long as my children that I've brought into this
yeah,
world are
100%.
happy, I can care less what happens
Right.
after
And then to
this.
me, it's not even about that. It's about how many lives do you change in your life? Like,
Yes.
what is your
And I
legacy?
think
Your
it is
legacy
so.
doesn't have to be in your
I think
kids.
that's what it is. A lot of
Yeah.
people believe that your legacy is only your
Yeah.
kids, and that's the easiest way to continue your legacy.
It is the easiest way.
Yes,
And that's part of people's identity is like, my legacy is a new marriage. It's
that last name
that's
that's being
it. Yeah,
held.
the last name. The
I can
people.
care less if it ends here.
Yeah.
My last name ended when I had my children. They don't have my
Yeah.
last name. It ends here. And
Yeah.
guess what? If I did my kids decide to be fur parents and I just have fur grandkids, and that's that.
Yeah. Exactly. 100%.
Okay, your legacy is going to be something that you implant into the world, not you creating
Not
life, that physical
physical.
life. How you can create life in so many ways. Guess what? You could help. Just imagine creating life in the sense of you you help an entire neighborhood, you help an
Yeah.
entire village.
Become a community leader.
Exactly.
Whatever it
And
is.
that's what I mean by creating life. If you
Yeah.
can't create what they,
Yeah.
make as creating life, and that's the only option of creating life. I see people look down on people who go through IVF and surrogacy and stuff like that. You didn't really like not the Kardashians, but there are the Kardashians.
Was it the
She had a
Kardashians?
like a lot of
Chloe.
celebrities.
Chloe and
Kim
Kim.
too, the last two.
Yep.
A lot of people say that you're not a woman because you didn't create that child. I'm still a mother to that child because I
Yeah.
raised that child.
Yeah.
That's mine.
Like,
Just because I didn't carry the child in
did,
my womb doesn't mean
yeah.
that negates me as a
Did you
mom.
miss biology class in high school? Like,
But like they just think that through IVF, like I've seen partners, I've seen same-sex marriages where they say you guys aren't parents because they didn't come from you. I raised this child.
yeah.
This is my child.
Yeah.
Adoptive parents.
Yeah.
This is my child. So just because they didn't come straight out my vagina,
Doesn't need me by blood
no.
or straight out of our vagina.
I've even heard people
But
say that C-section moms aren't real moms, and
so
that's
crazy.
C-section
Stupid.
moms, IVF
So
parents,
stupid.
adoption, surrogacy. They say that they're not parents, and I'm like, if I'm raising this, it takes not only raising but raising this child well and taking
Yeah.
it, nurturing and taking. Because I know people
Yeah.
who raise kids who aren't parents. I know people who've had these children who aren't mothers. They were incubators at the time,
Ah,
and
indeed.
then as soon as these kids are out, they don't do anything for these children to better their lives. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well, let me ask a couple questions about that. Okay, so for Mother's Day, for some people, it is not as loving and as positive, right? Because there are those deadbeat moms or moms that are non-existent or don't participate. And how do you think they fit in Mother's Day?
If you're a deadbeat mom, I don't think you should be celebrated. I think it's a celebration for those IVF mothers, those
Yeah,
adoptive mothers, the
I
surrogate
agree.
mothers that
I agree.
actually
I agree.
are in their children's
Yeah.
lives.
So then the
Because
mom that was
we don't
there,
celebrate deadbeat dads, or we shouldn't.
yeah, we shouldn't.
I
It's
know a
true.
lot of people do, but we
It's
shouldn't.
true.
Just because you're doing the bare minimum as a
Yeah.
parent because you gave them life
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you're a mom. Doesn't mean you're a dad. I have parents that I know that have been my. I will put it out there. My dad,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
He was there for the first couple of years of life, and then things happened, and he's. I haven't heard from him since. Am I going to celebrate Father's Day and wish him a happy Father's Day?
Yeah,
No.
no, totally. I think there's definitely, yeah,
There's that
there's
double standard where you're going to celebrate. I don't understand a woman that's going to say Happy
I
Father's
think she's
Day.
entitled to it too.
Well, even say Happy Father's Day to a father who's in their children's lives once a year, but then
My mom would do
they're
that.
not gonna do the
Right.
same thing for a woman. Yeah.
I think again, it's that savior mentality of man. If you do the smallest little thing, or you have that father title, and then you're entitled
I
to
have
certain
said
things.
this where I was had this conversation
Yeah.
a couple days ago where, yes, I do applaud the men in our lives that have shaped us as women, in the sense of,
Yeah.
"Thank you for getting me to where I'm at. Thank you for making allowing me to believe in myself." I don't thank you as a person,
So cute.
but I do thank you in how you've shaped me and how I've learned to not put so much trust in people like you. I think a lot of people when I say that you're thanking them. No, I'm not. I'm thanking the fact that I took little bits and pieces
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah. You're
I
grateful.
don't like you as a whole.
Yeah.
Little bits and pieces is fine.
We're grateful for the learning opportunity.
Exactly. Not you as a
100%.
person.
I had to say that because that that is for mothers, and some for some mothers it doesn't. Mother's Day does not apply, and that's like, and that's real.
I don't think if it applies to you any other day of the year, I don't think it should apply to you that day.
I think, although the flip side of it in a way is that I think that women have more of an opportunity to come back into that celebratory of Mother's Day rather than men. I think men, they have a hard time pivoting to going backwards to,
Mhm.
or reassessing or reviewing or changing. I think women, they have, it's it's easier, and they have more of
Saying women that have
pathway.
pushed off of motherhood and then wanna come back
Yeah.
into it
Yeah.
because we have that nurturing
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
empathetic, and men have
Mhm.
an ego that
Mhm.
stops them from
Yeah.
going back into it.
Yes. I'm gonna say a quick story about that is that, so Hayden, her name is Hayden. Oh, I forgot her last name. It starts with a P, but she was in Bring It On. She's
Hayden
an act
Panettiere,
Thank you.
yes.
She is an actress. And so
She gave up her rights as a mother.
yeah,
Yeah, I have,
of
yeah, yeah.
course. Okay, yeah. So she gave up her rights as a mom when right after she was pregnant, whatever happened. I completely understand that on a monumental level, and she has to get right with what's right
Her
for her.
internal too, if it's her
Yeah.
mental, if it's,
Yeah, anything.
yeah.
And I think also she became an alcoholic right after she had her child, and that's what she needed to cope. And anyway, but now she's circled back, and
Mhm.
like she has a better custody arrangement, and
I
like
know
everything's
firsthand
are
someone who's done that.
really.
Yeah, because when she had the child, she was really young. She
Yeah.
gave up rights to,
Right.
family members, and now she's in a better state of her life because she did give up rights to the family members. She's always seen that child, but, now the child doesn't look at her mom, looks at her more like an auntie, but still, she again, like,
She's
she
there.
circled back, and I know
There.
men who've had children, never even met their children. I know men who've had children and have left their children and left them high and dry and
Yeah.
never came back for them.
I think men can still do that. There's definitely an opportunity for them, and they're able to, but it's harder for
They
them.
definitely, and I know a lot of women that allow for them to come back into their
Right.
children's
Right.
lives, but they choose not to.
Yeah. That's true.
In the circumstance of like my dad, right? My
Yeah. Tell me
mom
about
has
that.
always been, if your dad wants to see you, he wants to see you. I'm not going to force him, nor am I going to stop him from seeing you guys. He's been the one who pushed off of us.
Yeah.
There was a time where my mom, where and she's never been the type where she's like, are you going to come and see your kids? If you want to, you want to. If you don't, you don't. He scheduled a time where he wanted to come see us, and this is 20 years ago, right?
Really, really. Okay.
20 years ago,
Okay.
and he scheduled a time. We waited for him, never showed up. My mom, she didn't say anything about it. She let it be. I think that's where I am as a parent too, where if you don't want to be there, you don't want to be there. I'm not going to force you.
Yeah.
And I've always been that way. You don't want,
Yeah.
whether it's me as a parent, me in a relationship, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here.
Oh my god.
My
Thank you
favorite
for
saying is the
sharing that.
door is wide open. If you want to leave, leave, leave.
Yeah.
I'm not begging.
Close it on your way out.
I'm not leaving open for the next one. I'm not begging. I'm not begging anyone to stay. But my mom has always been that way, and I think that's what definitely has shaped me into the person that I am too.
Yeah.
Where she's never held on to anything of that sort. Even till this day, she'll still try to be like, "You like, has your dad reached out?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Okay, it's what it is."
Yeah, it is what it is.
And he knows our numbers. He knows where we stay. He has never reached out. And if he does, it's always because he will say like, "Oh, I'm dying or something's happening," or something. It's
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that has come into play too when it comes to men, where you want to stay, you want to stay, you want to go, you want to go. If my dad hasn't even stayed, I don't really care
Yeah.
if you stay.
Again, there's the door.
Wide open.
Yeah, wide open. Thank you for sharing that with me, Clarissa. It's sad that I have heard these stories multiple times. One that stands out again, Kim Kardashian. 'Cause I guess she's my idol. I love Kim Kardashian. Well, that's how it is. I've read her interview, read and heard her interviews about Kanye, and it was Kanye left. He's in another relationship now. He goes off and he doesn't be in
Yep.
contact with the kids for months, months, months. But then she's like, but if he reaches out and he wants to see them, then she's gonna let it happen. And
It
it
does
is
come
what
to
it
a
is.
point though.
That is true. I do know that there are some boundaries are to be set, and that's healthy. But yeah, it's just like there's that too. Leaving that door there, and then how you get there and what you do when you're at that door is what us as mothers have to
Mhm.
assess, right? And figure that out. Yeah. My other question, last thing about Mother's Day and being a mother. What does it mean to be sexy? Just have to say everybody, we don't like that word.
Uh-huh.
What does it mean to be, yeah, sexy,
I
beautiful
think any
as a
woman,
mom?
I love to be praised,
The sexuality.
but I think sexy,
I
I think when a
I don't like
woman
that
calls me
word.
sexy,
You
and
know,
when a man does it,
you're hella funny. No, me too.
ew.
Me too. Because I think that it's genuine from women, and they actually there's a feeling and emotion, but it's again, it's what could that be?
It means that I wanna have sex with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
So,
a boudoir, how you pronounce it? Boudoir?
wait a minute.
Boudoir.
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 A boudoir.
I know.
I
I
did that.
saw
I just did that, right?
that. She just
And
did
it was
that.
it's an all women team, obviously, and they were
Yeah.
hyping me up. They're like, "Oh," they used the word sexy, and I was like, "Okay, yeah." But then it's funny,
Good
some
for
guy
you.
called me sexy a couple days ago, and I was like, "Ew, please
Ew.
don't ever say that again."
Yeah. Just it's not the same
It's
vibe.
just it's not for me. That
Yeah.
word for me from a man.
Yeah.
From a man's standpoint, is definitely not for me. I
No.
think it's,
Same.
if anything, I think it's derogatory coming from
Same.
a man.
Same. I hate this. I hate that I even feel this, but it's when a man says that. The uncomfortability
Yes,
that comes with
yes,
it, or even the safety. What are you saying that's sexy about me? And what are you even thinking? What is
yes.
in your mind? It's like,
Ew.
yeah, no. Women, I feel safer in.
Yes.
Now I know you're not
Again,
thinking
as a
about weird
woman, I think it's to
things.
hype me up.
I'm laughing because it's so fucking insane.
It's
Like,
like, that's
it's so
disgusting to me.
bad. It's
I
disgusting.
feel like raping me
Oh
with words. That's
no,
how disgusting
no,
it
that's
is.
what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I think the women for us, definitely women preference for anything. I have to say it was great. I saw an Uber commercial yesterday and they have the new feature now where
For
it's like
women
for
drivers,
women
yeah,
only
for
drivers.
safety.
Hello.
It only took so long.
I know. It was a couple sexual assaults, whatever. Oh my gosh. I'm saying if I'm on Uber, use Uber again, that's what I'm doing.
I'm not saying
Thousand
that women
percent.
aren't going to. There are women who are bad out there that
Right.
will still do
That's true.
that, but
That's true.
it's, again, that level of comfortability that comes with it.
Yes. I think the statistics are like so low.
Yeah.
So much lower.
Well,
I feel safer in
yeah.
that, for sure. No, 100%. Last question. I don't want to say do you trust everybody, but how do you how do you practice trust? I don't want to say trust in do you have more trust in men or women because we already know what that answer is.
I
How
mean, anyone
is
have
your
to get a feel. I
trust?
have to get a feel of the person for
Okay.
sure. I'm a very open person, I believe.
Same.
But I'm a very open person. I believe there's a lot that I expose myself to the world, at least what I want to expose myself
Yeah.
with. I do know that a lot of people aren't the same way.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of boundaries and have a lot of walls that are
Yes.
covered.
Yes.
But that being said, I know what I pull out and the energy that I pull out, it's not going to be reciprocated back because everyone's different.
Yeah.
But when it comes to trust, I do feel as if that I have to get a feel of the person. And most times I think I do get a good feel. I think later in time, I do really personal circumstances. I put a lot of trust in people that I shouldn't have.
Oh, same.
Life lessons
100%.
learned.
Oh yeah.
And that's another thing.
You learn it.
I've just learned from it and I've moved
Yeah.
on. I think it's a matter of understanding your boundaries as an individual and not allowing anyone to cross it. And if that person crosses it, guess what? That's not a trustworthy person. If I've explained this to you and you've still done it to me, yeah. But no, I think it's a matter of I think every single individual is different. And I do believe that it's a matter of you getting a feel of that person.
100%. Same. How I really practice, well, I'm ever learning. I do trust women more than men, 100%. But the other element, even with women, is that I know that everybody is selfish. At the end of the day, when it
Yes.
comes to whatever
It's
business,
always gonna be you
relationship,
against everyone
yeah,
else.
it's always gonna be me against everybody else. Like, in terms of adults, like, my obviously, my kids are different and
Yeah.
some of my family, but yeah, at the end of the day, everybody's selfish. So I have to when I come to trust, what I practice is that, like, I have levels that I'm gonna trust you at, but then also in the back of my mind, this is new for me, is, like, learning that I know that you are selfish and that
And
you're gonna choose
I'm
yourself
well aware of that,
over
and
me.
I would
Yeah.
always tell someone to choose themselves before they choose me. It
Oh,
sucks. It sucks, but that's the reality of
that's
things. I
actually
would
good
always tell someone I
advice.
was talking to
Oh
someone
my
and
god.
we were going back and forth and things kind of happened and things kind of broke off at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he came back and was, I do want to try to figure things out with you. This is
Yeah.
personal stuff, right?
Okay, no, tell
And
me.
then
Tell
I
me.
told him, I understand that you do want to try to work on this, but in that same sense, I need you to know that I would want you to think about yourself before you think about me and what could happen between us.
It's really smart.
And thing is,
Put it
it's
out there.
yeah, and to put it out there and for you to
Yeah.
understand that I need you to worry about yourself and think about yourself before you get into anything with me.
I think that even builds trust too.
I would hope so. But
Yeah.
no, I've always felt that way because I am not one to sit there and I don't want to, I have been, but I don't want to sit there and hold your hand anymore. And I don't want you to put all your eggs in this basket, right? I
Yeah.
want you to love yourself and take care of yourself first before we were to move forward with anything.
Monumental advice.
I think as adults, we need to understand that too. Like, we need to be selfish for ourselves.
Yeah.
And for someone to disregard your selfishness because you need to worry about you and you need to worry about you, I think it's kind of toxic to me. Because how is it
Yeah.
that you
Because
can't,
that's not true.
yeah, whether I'm husband and wife, other than my
Yeah.
children, whether I'm husband or wife or, excuse me, friend to friend, I'm always going to think about me first. And I'm always going to, because I'm only always going to have me.
And if you're gonna flip it and say that, oh, I think about you first before me,
I would never
that's
want to
not
be in a
true.
relationship with
That's not
someone that's
true.
only going to think about me. Those relationships do
Yeah,
not work.
I know, that's not true.
Those relationships do not
It's
work at
like,
all.
that's a facade. You're
I think that's
lying to
toxic.
yourself.
I think that's
That is
toxic. 'Cause
that is
how is it that
toxic.
you love me more than you love yourself? That's wild.
Yeah, that's wild, and you're lying. And
That
then
too.
it's gonna
And
be
it's gonna come out in the
yeah,
end.
it's gonna come out
The
in the
truth is
end.
always gonna be
The
set free.
truth will set you free,
Yes. But don't
Kristen.
ever sit there and lie to me. And I know a lot of people,
Oh my
especially
god.
young
Oh,
women in relationships that see men that are, I do
you
understand
don't
that
need to
narrative.
lie.
I do understand the narrative of a man must you more than he likes himself, or
Yeah, I do
he must
understand that
like
as
you more
well.
than you like him.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna expect you to like me 80%. And then so if you don't love yourself, how are you gonna love me? What the hell?
Yeah, that's RuPaul. That's what I hear. If you if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anybody else?
Exactly. No,
Like,
exactly that.
it's not, and that's it's not only is that not only true, but it's like, do you want true love? I want true love.
I want true
So
love.
the true love is not gonna be that
True love is
you
here.
yeah. I'm gonna
It's
like
gonna start here first.
yes, true love is like, it's not about I'm gonna love you more than I love myself. It's that I'm gonna love myself first.
I like true love actions from other people, but true love is
Yeah.
always within you.
So
Cut
this has been amazing. This has
that out.
been yeah, we're
Oh,
gonna
man.
cut that out. This has been amazing. Our Mother's Day conversations, and it's about love, about what it means to be a mom, and the beautiful goddess of women and
I think
who we
all women
are.
are considered mothers. I think in the
Oh,
sense of we're all
we
born
dropped it.
we're
We
all
dropped
born as
it.
moms. Whether you attain that later in life is up to you. But again, the
Wow.
creation and what we do with our minds and our hands and our physical attributes and our mental everything, we're all
Yeah.
Mother Earth.
Mother
We're all
Earth.
created from here.
We're all created from here, and then we go back into that creation.
But I think we lose it in time here
Yes.
on this earth
We
that they
let
claim
yes,
that's
we
made by
let
a man.
people we're brainwashed to. And we're reclaiming that. I think also part of this claiming our motherhood for what we want to be and what it comes from within.
Yeah.
What does it mean for motherhood to you from within yourself? We support that journey for you to find that. And we're finding that still ourselves. So amazing. Clarissa. Okay. So for next time, tune us in on
We're back
YouTube.
on our regular
We're
schedule.
back on the regular schedule, people. We have a couple of guest stars coming up,
We do.
which is amazing things. So stay tuned. A lot of fun stuff.
It's
Okay.
exciting.